Welcome back, everyone. Today we've got something that might end up as a new segment, might not. We're going to informally call it Tools Day, which only makes sense if I publish this for Tuesday, so here's hoping I get that right. Let's go ahead and start with, we've got a screwdriver set to unbox. This is Mushkin's new Redline precision screwdriver set. And we are going to go ahead and use our Okio cam, actually, now that I see how small that looks on camera, to get a closer look at the box and open it up. Center that. Alright, so here's our Mushkin Redline precision screwdriver. Here's our Mushkin Redline precision screwdriver set. Fairly hefty package. I believe the case is aluminum. TKR-001. I hope that means that there's additional tools coming from Mushkin. If I had to guess, that probably means Toolkit Redline. A couple of icons on the side here, phones, tablets, PCs, cameras, etc. All the stuff that you should be able to take apart with this. Unfortunately, my box got ripped when I was taking it out of the package. That's not on them. We get a list of all the different driver bits that are here, which is most of the ones that I like seeing and a few that tend to get excluded from sets like this. So Philips 000 all the way up to Philips 2. There's a lot of sets, and one that I'll show you for comparison in a moment here that only go up to Philips 1, and I've had issues with that. Couple of stars, some slotted drivers. I honestly wish that you didn't get so many slotted drivers because there's not enough difference between a 1.5 and a 2 to typically cause an issue. So I wish that they either spaced those out more or just gave us more of something different. Looks like we got some security Torx, some regular Torx, some hex. Security hex would have been a nice inclusion. But overall, decent kit, premium steel ergonomic handle, magnetic case and bits. We'll get to that. Widely used. Theoretically, that means they did some sort of market research before introducing this. So, and we get some pictures of what the tool itself looks like. Let's go ahead and get this out. A box in a box. Interesting decision. Oh, come on. Probably could have skipped the single-use plastic. I wonder if this is biodegradable. And here we have our Mushkin Redline screwdriver kit. Which, oh, I like that mechanism. Did that get picked up by the microphone? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and... It's a very satisfying click sound. Alright, I wonder. Okay. I like that better with the screwdriver facing the red line. And then we have what look like slightly longer than normal reach bits. And we'll see what I'm talking about in a second there. And each one is... These are magnetically held in. I like that. So instead of plastic case snaps or something, these are magneted in. Alright, and what about the tool itself? Not bad. Is this also magnetic? They missed an opportunity for one more magnet, it feels like. That must be the retention mechanism. Yep, I can see a couple of pins in the bottom there, which appears to be a black void on camera, so that's a bummer. And on the back we've got more bits. It looks like... No, they packed that about as tightly as they could. You might have been able to get 3 more bits in here on the spine, but that's it. And what I like is... Ooh. So those are fairly strong, but not perfect. So a normal drop is going to maybe bounce them around a little bit. But because they are magneted in, if you get enough force behind this, they will pop out. But they're also individually labeled. Okay, so why am I excited about what sound like some pretty boring features? Well, let's look at what I'm comparing it to. So this is my Pittsburgh Pro lifetime warranty Harbor Freight special. And this is about $8, if I recall correctly, and I've had for a long time. This is a set from the dollar store that I let people borrow, and maybe not always people that I like the most. And this is one that I actually talked about for one of our Christmas roundups. This is a Tack Life driver. This is what honestly has been in my tool bag, or I should say my briefcase, every day. And each one of these fails at something that Redline kit does well, and it has maybe one flaw next to any of these. So here's the Pittsburgh Pro Set. These bits snap in plastically. They're a softer steel. You can actually tell, and this is becoming more common on some of these newer bit assortments, and we'll switch over to the Okio cam. This will be easier to show there. These chrome vanadium bits are typically softer than, I want to say these are an S2 steel typically. I don't know what happened that this finally became more common, but these I have twisted and broken, and you can actually see there's a little bit of twisting on this 3/32 hex where I put it in something and over tightened it, and I haven't had that happen on any kits that use bits like this. So these are a worse steel. This kit is bigger despite being roughly the same size. This is, according to it, a 32-piece set, which counts all of these plus these tweezers, which you can see how useful they are. I've bent them, and the driver itself, which, depending on who you are, that may or may not be a better or worse driver. These are both roughly the same size as far as where you would grip it. The Redline is a little bit shorter, which causes it to fall under my pinky. The Pittsburgh has this rotating bit at the end, which I would potentially put my finger over and then rotate the body under it, although that has a bit of stick to it at this point. So they're a little bit different in length, but overall not that different in function. Personally, I could see myself using the hole in the Redline for extra torque in some scenarios. Not many. You don't really want to put too much torque behind drivers like this. But there's a couple of places where you're just in an awkward position and you can hold it here and then stick something in to rotate it a half or quarter turn that you couldn't do otherwise. But anyway, so these are a better steel, and these plastic retention clips, they suck. This thing, there's enough room in here that they just fly out and start to rattle around. Don't know why. It seems like if they made the case maybe 1/8 of an inch shallower, there wouldn't be enough room for them to sort of bounce out like that. But that's not really going to be a problem with the way these are packed right against the lid, and no movement. Okay, so there we have that next to this Harbor Freight set, which I keep on my desk at work. I have for a long time, because despite its flaws, it had most of the bits that I needed. It didn't have a number 2 Phillips, which I borrowed one from another set and put it in here. The bits themselves are a little bit shorter in reach. You can see that the rounded section on the Redline bits is a little bit longer, and that's going to let them fit in a couple of places where these wouldn't. But that comes at a cost. This kit, I want to say, is right around $20. There'll be a link in the Amazon description. So you get what you pay for. More money, better tool. Okay. This, of course, has the advantage, lifetime warranty. I can take it to Harbor Freight if I break enough things, and they'll swap out the kit. This Tack Life driver has been in my briefcase, and you can see it's gotten plenty of use. I've encountered two real problems with it. Number one, this, which holds extra bits, tends to get stuck on things or lost. For a while, I was convinced I actually lost it completely. So after that happened, I only had whatever bits had been in there, which typically is honestly just two different sizes of the Phillips and slotted. Although this came with some Torx, I've never used them. I've never used the Torx bits that are in this Tack Life kit. Now, it has clearly a depth advantage next to the Redline just due to the way that it's built. And I'm not going to, get rid of this, but it's probably not going to be in my briefcase every day anymore. The Redline fixes the issues that I've had with the Pittsburgh. It is going to avoid this particular issue, and I've actually bent some of these, so they're not impervious to bending. And then that leaves me with the, well, why don't you just use the cheap ones at the dollar store question? And I figured I'd grab a set of these just to have. They suck. They're not good bits, and quite frankly, they're what I give to people when I don't think they're going to return my tools, because it's much cheaper and less frustrating for me to, you know what, it's been 3 weeks, you haven't returned my screwdriver set, I'll just go buy another one at the dollar store, compared to something like this where I'm going to want it back. Now, I said there were some downsides to the Mushkin kit, and those are two. The Pittsburgh, I mentioned, has that lifetime warranty. I think these have got a typical 1-year warranty. There's actually no warranty listed on the packaging, and quite frankly, that's pretty typical of kits like this that you can order online. Unlike this, where I can walk into a store and show it to a person, I'm not getting them replaced. The Tack Life, I mentioned, has a longer reach. That's all fine and well. Now, with all of that said, it wouldn't be much of a demonstration if I didn't use the new tools I just unboxed for something. So to that end, I've got this Yoga C920 that the Wi-Fi card on it sucks. So let's see if I have the right size Torx in this kit to open it up. Those look like maybe a T3, maybe a T5, or sorry, maybe not a T5, maybe a T4. So here's a T3 that wiggles. T4. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it is actually a T5. So let's try a T5. Well, I'll be damned. T5 it is. Yeah, so the Wi-Fi card in this sucks. It's a Qualcomm Wi-Fi card. And we've got a Intel 7265 AC that I pulled out of another laptop. That actually I think was another Lenovo, so I ought to be able to just swap that in without too much fuss. Now, I've never opened up this particular model before. Although I did open up several similar models, and this should be fairly straightforward once I get the damn lid to release. They kind of snap on, but they're pretty straightforward. So overall, although this might be work I would have preferred to do with my lithium driver, oh, that's got some torque behind it. This isn't bad. And to the question of, well, why don't I have my lithium driver? A, I left it at home because I never carry it in my briefcase anymore. And B, it has problems that just kind of make it unsuitable for everyday carry. in that everything falls out of the case. I bought a fairly inexpensive lithium driver kit, and although it works great, it has to live at the bench because the container that it came in is just not a practical one for actually doing anything with. So, okay. Oh, well, that wasn't so bad. And there's the offending Qualcomm card, and it looks like a standard Phillips. So I'm going to guess that's probably a 00 since it's an M2. Man, this thing is almost all battery. Doo-doo-doo. And there we go. Wow. Well, hopefully this fixes my issue with the Wi-Fi not working. And now the part of Wi-Fi that always sucks is getting these little antennas back on. Oh, and of course, there we go. So the aux goes on the far side, and the main goes on the near side, and it looks like Lenovo may have had that backwards when they assembled this one. There. That wasn't so bad at all. After taking apart a couple of other non-ThinkPad Lenovo systems recently, I decommissioned a couple of Flex 15s and a few others that were destined for recycling. I expected more of a fight here. And other than this one screw in the corner, which I think may have just been due to the proximity of the magnet for the speaker grill, this is fine. Yeah, I think that one screw is going to fight with me, but the rest of these are going to go in no issue. Anyway, I guess where that leaves us is this kit's going in my briefcase, and the others will be banished to other various locations. Overall, really happy with this. I do want to clarify that this was sent in with some other Mushkin product that we had in for review, so although this wasn't itself specifically for review, since it's a retail product and I've got other tools to talk about, I decided it would be a decent segue into that. There are some similar kits I'd love to get a look at as well. So, on that note, as always, I'd like to thank Electrix for providing our opening and closing themes. I'd like to thank anyone who helps support us, either by using our Patreon or our Amazon affiliate links. It's support like that that helps make videos like this possible. And with that all said, thank you for watching.